On today's episode of Titus and Tate, we are going to spend the next 2 to 3 hours breaking down the acclaimed film Space Jam 2.
A new legacy.
A new legacy.
Mm-hmm.
It came out on Friday.
Yes.
You said you were only going to watch it because Bugs Bunny was in it.
Yes.
I found myself feeling the exact same feelings you had, where I got done watching it. We'll talk about it a little bit. We're not actually going to spend 3 hours.
This is not the rewatch.
I don't know. Maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe we will.
Is this Bugs Bunny Apex Mountain? We got to ask that question. Yeah, if we can get there.
I found myself. What you said was just ruminating in my mind as I was watching it, where I was the whole time I was like, Bugs is awesome, and
yes.
And if it wasn't for Bugs Bunny, I'd probably not be watching. I probably would have turned this off, but I didn't. So
the Looney Tunes win again. I saw a lot of people saying that the Looney Tunes.
Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers.
Well,
spoilers.
I'm just saying at the box office, not even in the movie. They win at the box office. That's
Maybe
what they always do.
Maybe not a spoiler.
As they always do.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just hoping this leads to more, Warner Brothers saying, "Hey, Bugs Bunny, drive this train for us. Be our Mickey Mouse." That's what they should do.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
I don't know. We'll talk. We'll talk a little bit about Space Jam. More importantly, we're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks being on the precipice.
Oh, yes.
They are one win away from an NBA championship.
Giannis the Great.
It flipped so quickly that the Phoenix Suns were crowned. Chris Paul finally got his ring.
Destiny, inevitability.
Everybody loves Suns fans. How cool are they? Every time we get to see them. And boy, Game 5, everything got turned on its head. Chris Paul is a villain.
Yes.
Suns fans, get him out of my face. I've had enough of these guys. Like, every single one of them is trying to go viral.
Yes.
I hate all of them.
Yes.
Everyone, it feels like it just quickly flipped, and now everyone is crowning
Fear the
Milwaukee.
deer, baby.
Which is a little scary as well, because Milwaukee hasn't won it yet. But anyway, that's where
we famously said on this podcast, Bucks in 6.
Yep.
And that's where we sit right now as we look ahead. But like you said, the pressure's on Giannis, the pressure's on the Bucks now, and they've always thrived when the pressure is on them. So Bucks in 6.
Bucks in 6, Bugs in 6, maybe.
Ooh.
How about that?
Ooh.
Also, Team USA might be back.
Oh.
Team USA.
Or are they? That's the real
JaVale
question.
McGee.
Oh, my gosh.
Keldon Johnson. Are they the missing pieces? We're going to talk about all that. Marcus Carr to Texas. We might hit on that a little bit later, because Marcus Carr finally out of the Big Ten. I could not be happier about that. But also,
Chris Beard.
Texas.
What a recruiter.
Is rolling, and people are foaming at the mouth about the Longhorns.
We talk about the bag a lot on this program. In Texas, you are getting our attention.
Yes, you have our attention. All that coming up, but first,
Woody Durham.
Housekeeping at the top, Tate, we got to get to. As people that have been listening to the show for a while now, certainly the Fox iteration of the show, the Titus and Tate iteration, not Teed Up, not One Shining Podcast. When we came to Fox, we had to leave our old producer behind.
Yes.
Producer Kyle, a.k.a. Nephew Kyle. If you've been listening to the show for a long time, you remember he got the tattoo OSP on his arm. We did not get him in the divorce with the Ringer. He stayed
with mom and dad.
Yeah, he stayed with mom and dad. So we had to get a new producer. Louise joined the show. She was
Pour
awesome.
one out for Louise.
We love Louise. Yeah. She worked on the show all both seasons, really. Like we come on, the tournament gets canceled. We have to throw. We
survived the pandemic together.
Yeah. She was helping us through all that. We had last season, and then finally we went on one road trip with Louise to Indianapolis for the Final Four.
Yep.
And she gets back from that, and she says, "I gotta get the hell out of here. Get me out of here.
Get me away from these guys."
So basically,
one tour around Indiana, and she was out.
That was all it took.
She went back to Andy Katz.
Basically, from that moment, since the end of the college basketball season in April, so that's April, May, June, July, well, over 3 months now, we have been lost at sea. We have been wandering in the desert. We have had Conrad has helped
shout out to
fill in.
Conrad. He's been great. He's been helping us.
We've had Kay Scott, now Kay Hurley. I'm sorry. Kay Scott rolls off the tongue a little better, if I could say. We've had a lot of fill-in producers, and I am excited to announce for the people at home that we finally have locked in on a guy who is joining us.
Usually you would do your own drum roll right now, or you get really hyped up. But this guy, he does it himself. He produces himself. Jim with 2 1s. Jim Cunningham. Here we go. What does he have?
Rose, you've got to meet this Jim Cunningham. I can't believe he's single. Jim Cunningham's a diamond in the rough.
Back in the 70s, he was quite the team heartthrob.
You say he's 500 pounds of bottom-dwelling fury. Wow. He's a man and a half.
Half man, half god, half possible centaur.
The best part is this gets updated every time.
The first time we played this, it was 10 seconds, and now it's... The only podcast producer in America with his own entrance music. Jim, we used to work with Jim at The Ringer.
Yeah.
He was our producer, our film producer when Kyle couldn't do it. He also, I believe you produced the first Duffy's, did you not, Jim?
I think it was the second one.
The second one.
Well, basically the first ones.
one.
Yeah, the first ones that we really cared about. But yeah, Jim Cunningham and I, producers at The Ringer. You always, I think the first time we started working together was at Grandland. We met, I think, you guys did a whole podcast about our whole interactions.
That's
our whole
right.
lives.
Yeah, when you left and The Ringer.
Sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, couch surfing, the whole thing. So if you want to go back in the archives, in the canon of Titus and Tate, that's on you. You can listen to all that. But Jim Cunningham, we're very happy to have you here. I'm very excited.
It's officially his first day at Fox. He's going to be on the show for what, until the season starts, probably?
No. Moron Mountain, that's where he is right now. He's with us. I can't wait, Jim. This is going to be great.
This is your first, what initial impressions on...
we have a set now, before, yeah. Jim remembers when we used to record in a closet, you and I. It was
I just can't,
a great time.
We saw him Friday, and he looked like Forrest Gump, and the iteration of Forrest Gump with the long hair.
You could have convinced me that he ran across America from New York
Yeah.
to get to L.A., and then look at him now. He looks great. It's great to be here.
Well, Jim, do you have an opening statement for your role on this iteration of the show? Do you have anything you want to say before we get to?
Do you feel like you
the
owe
real
anything to
part of the show?
Kyle because you have his microphone now? Kyle used to be in this position. He used to chime in.
Yeah, I called Kyle and asked him what it was like to work with you guys, and this is what he said.
Arguing, and then there's vicious insults, and then there's shoving, and then there's punching, and then there's weapons. So there's different degrees, and you
So thanks, Kyle. You warned me.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That
There it
checks
is.
out.
Well,
Oh man.
Jim, we're excited to have you. Yeah, and I don't know how much I'll mean that. We'll see as time
it's
goes
gonna
on
be
how
great.
much I mean that. But
It's gonna be great. My mom's
anyway,
very excited.
We the show is it feels like the family is all together now. We can move forward. So let's move forward. What do you want to talk about first? I see you're wearing your Toon Squad get up.
Yes.
Do you want to do Space? That's what I saw. Skip and Shannon today open the show.
With Space Jam.
Space Jam.
I mean,
Game 5 happens. Giannis with one of the most insane lob dunks in the history of the NBA.
Points to the sky.
And they open up with who is better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Yeah, well, let's start right there because Game 5, we can connect all this. Game 5, LeBron James is on the sideline, and ESPN cameras, ABC cameras show him, and underneath it, instead of saying, he averaged 27 points per game this season, 8 rebounds, whatever, they put the Rotten Tomatoes score of his film, Space Jam: A New Legacy. I never thought, but we joked about this. Did
they really?
Yes.
That wasn't photo. I saw that picture. That wasn't Photoshop.
No, that was real. That was what they did. They did that to sun them, to say we are Disney, you are Warner Brothers, we are number one. So anyways, that pretty much sets the tone for Space Jam is the cultural conversation. It is the thing to talk about. I thought this would be a joke, that the GOAT conversation would lead to a stupid movie with my favorite characters in the world. But the good news about both movies is that the tunes really star in both movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what matters. So I watched it on HBO Max. Did you go to the theaters?
No,
to watch
I was
it?
going to go to the theaters. I was told don't do that. I was like, it's not. I'll say that the first 20 minutes. You didn't watch it, Jim. You didn't. Okay, all right. We'll cut
He
it
has
out.
not seen either one of the Space Jams. He was too busy.
You haven't seen the first one? Oh my God.
He was watching Felipe Lopez highlights.
I was told just don't, it's not even worth, because I was wondering if it'd be I knew it wasn't going to be nominated for an Oscar, but I was like maybe it'd be a fun movie to have some popcorn.
I had fun.
I was told don't do that, and then I started the movie 20 minutes in. I was like, this might be the worst thing. Not even a good bad. It wasn't even this is hilarious how bad this was. It was so convoluted. It was so. The story behind it, the Game Boy throw. By the way, spoilers. We're gonna talk a little bit about the plot.
This is Jim's nightmare, by the way.
Jim's like, I'm never. The whole setup, the introduction of the Don Cheadle character, very stupid.
That turned into, it was an algorithm that turned into Al G.
Yes.
That is the name that they came up with.
But also, like, I like my villains to be a little mysterious, and I like to be introduced to Don Cheadle and not really know if he's bad or not. And
Yeah,
then,
no,
like,
this
then it
movie
kinda-
was like, he's bad.
Out of the gate, it was like, this is the bad guy, which I guess, like, if you're a kid, that's probably useful. But then also, that's what I didn't understand was, like, you put it on a platter for the children. Obviously, it's a kid's movie, so you're like, we're going to make this very simple. Don Cheadle's a bad guy.
Yes.
But then also at the same time, we're going to make the story as to why this game is taking place very confusing, even for adults. Where the serververse has sucked them in, but then your son created this game.
Yeah.
But you hate your son for liking video games more than basketball because when you're a child, you like video games for one moment in time more than basketball and you miss the shot. So now you take it out on your son. So because of that, we're going to have to play your son in a basketball.
I mean, this is a great pitch.
I don't understand how children followed that. The first 20 minutes were horrible, and then bugs showed up, and I was in.
And they saved the movie.
Yeah, they saved the movie.
And the serververse, like you're talking about, is basically all of the Warner Brothers properties in this universe, in this server, which, I mean, I feel like there could have been, they called it Warner 3000 when they showed it to LeBron James. But regardless, it's a pretty cool place.
It's pretty cool,
like,
yeah.
Like LeBron's son gets to the serververse, and the whole time you're like, LeBron's got to save his son. He's got to save his son, and from what really? Because his son is having a great time.
Yeah, that was another part I had a problem with was that LeBron's son
like
was
Moron Mountain sucked. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be chained up, enslaved, playing basketball for the entertainment of aliens for the rest of your life.
I remember
scary.
I remember being a child and understanding the plot. It was like they're enslaved.
Yeah.
If Michael Jordan dunks this basketball, they're free.
Please, Michael.
I was like, come on,
save
Michael,
them,
do it.
please.
But then meanwhile, LeBron's son, who he loves, and like he wants his dad's affection, and he's like, the way I can get my dad's affection is by enslaving all of these people into the serververse for the rest of their lives by winning this basketball game. So confusing, Tate.
Yes.
But that's okay because ultimately what you want is just like get us from A to B, where B is LeBron James playing basketball with Looney Tunes. That's really all we wanted. We wanted to get from A to B. I guess you just could have made it a lot simpler. I don't understand why you made it so I was out on it. Then the Looney Tunes showed up, and it was a ton of fun. The serververse. That's why I think it was frustrating. Was because I think I saw people that obviously I was following the chatter online. Obviously,
yeah, who couldn't? Yeah.
And anyone who said the movie sucked, you'd see a response inevitably that was like, it's a movie starring a basketball players and trying to act with Looney Tunes where they're playing basketball. And what world would this ever be a good movie? And I said, I think it could have been a good movie. I think like you could have like tweaked a few different things and made this an awesome movie. And that's why it was so frustrating. I was watching, I was like, why is it too long? Why are all these things happening? Why does Wile E. Coyote have a mechanism that can score 1,000 points in the snap of a finger? We only see it once.
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
Because they got Looney. That's basically
they finally got Looney, and then the machine breaks. But then like at no point do we go back to Wile E. Coyote and be like, all right, your machine broke.
Yeah,
we understand that. We can't go back to that 1,000-point wall. But surely you got something else up your sleeve. No. Then they don't really revisit Wile E. Coyote. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's I mean the actual gameplay itself, it kind of shows you. I learned a lot about LeBron, right? So I watched this movie and I feel like I didn't know as much about LeBron, and I learned a lot through this movie through subtle messaging, which is style points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is something so far-fetched in my mind for anyone that like plays basketball, but in LeBron's mind, he thinks like a tomahawk dunk should be worth like 16 points, you know? So style points in this movie says a lot about LeBron. I was like, okay, I get that. And then the fact that there was like this game that's not basketball, it's basically like a swaggy clout version of basketball
which is the NBA,
cool. which is the
modern
NBA.
Yes,
Exactly. So like you learn a lot. You learn like as you watch this movie, you're like, oh, this is interesting. And then you learn that all LeBron really wants is to have fun. You know what I mean? He's lost the fun that he's been looking for in the game of basketball. It's all business. And that checks out too. So as I'm watching this movie, I was endeared a bit, even though LeBron, he tried to paint himself as, like you said, a father who did not want to support his son in making a video game. If a 12-year-old makes a video game, I'm pretty sure if Bryce did that, LeBron would be like, this is sick.
Yeah.
Let me post it on my IG. You know, so I don't even think that was real to LeBron.
That was supposed to be Bryce?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he had the other son was the older.
Yeah, who's like a player.
Who's actually a player. That makes more sense.
Yeah,
I got done watching the movie and
Yeah.
I was laughing because the big lesson learned in all of this is that LeBron somewhere along the line learned that he shouldn't push his kids into basketball if that's not what they want to do.
Yeah.
He should let them be them. That's the big lesson we
Yeah.
learned. And then
Do you?
I shift back to the real world where LeBron, my understanding is he's just staying in the NBA as long as possible so he can play with the son in the NBA, and he's pushing his son.
Yes. And he's
If
at
you're
every
not in the
game.
NBA, yeah.
He's literally at Peach Jam right now. Like we're all watching Space Jam. He's at Peach Jam with the son,
Peach Jam
just
with the
saying,
son.
"Do it, make it happen."
You have to.
He
You
and
have to make the
Dewan
leap.
Wagner are sitting with each other there, watching their son, saying, "Make the dream impossible again."
I enjoyed it all right. The first one's definitely better. The first one, and not just because I was young. The first one had Bill Murray. There was no Bill Murray type.
Michael B.
characters in this.
Jordan was the Bill Murray of this movie.
Sort
I
of.
guess.
But yeah.
Lil Rel maybe is the Bill Murray. I don't know. Between those two,
Who is he? He's the
he
Ernie
was
Johnson
the Ernie Johnson
sidekick.
Yeah.
There was no.
He's hilarious.
There was no. There was no. He was more Wayne Knight than Bill Murray.
Yeah,
we needed a
yeah.
Bill Murray type character. There was no heart. There was no soul. The first one
Yeah.
had so much soul, man. It was just like you just.
Yeah.
I don't know. When LeBron fell into the loony world and creates a crater that was shaped like a Nike check.
Yeah,
I
that
like,
was
this
pretty
is a little-
much
This is
it.
a bit much.
Yeah.
This is all a bit much. It's a big fat commercial, but no, I enjoyed it. I thought
But that was in the first 20 minutes, like you said.
It, like,
Once the Looney Tunes get on the screen, you're gonna have fun. As always.
I would have been so in if we just would have got the original theme to kick off this movie. We did not get that, and I was like,
But we got it in the trailer, so it was a big teaser in that
Yeah.
sense. So you expect it's gonna come at some point. That was frustrating.
True or false? When you were watching the movie and the opening scene, young LeBron bricks the game winner.
Hilarious.
Did you laugh or not?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. This movie is so good because it's so honest, because it can't fabricate what we all know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when they get to halftime and all the tunes are honest the whole time. Like when he first meets Bugs, he's like, "Oh, how original."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like they are making fun of LeBron the entire time.
I would have loved.
great.
I would have loved an idea where.
Which is good for LeBron. He took it and was laughing
Yeah.
at himself at some level.
I would have loved an idea.
Al G made
where,
the whole Heat reference multiple times about him leaving teams. It was funny that his son, spoiler alert, his son switches teams.
His son does switch teams. Yeah. He's LeBron's son for sure.
That was pretty funny.
Here's a quick rewrite that makes the movie better. You ready?
Okay, here we go.
The algorithm.
Al G.
He's not necessarily evil. We don't know that right away. Something happens along the way, and it's like, whoa, you're cheating, Al. Like what you're doing here is illegal. You can't do that. But early on, he's just like a neutral algorithm.
Yeah.
And he is the algorithm that Warner Brothers uses to come up with content ideas, because as we know, everything in 2021 is an algorithm.
Algorithm.
It's all
Yeah.
algorithm.
Yes.
So the algorithm
Thank you to the algorithm, by the way.
is putting on an event where all the Warner Brothers properties can compete. It's a basketball tournament where all the Warner Brothers properties can compete. The winner of the tournament gets to be like this $200 million movie. They have this new. They have a budget for a massive movie.
Yeah.
But they don't know what property to give the money to.
The Flintstones win.
And it's the Flint. Yeah, it's you have your Harry Potters, your Game
Yogi
of Thrones.
Bear.
Yes, Yogi Bears. Flintstones are trying. And
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
one of the groups is this ragtag group called the Looney Tunes that have not played basketball in 25 years since they played with Michael Jordan. They're all out of shape.
Yeah.
They're all a little irrelevant. They're not as hot as they used to be 30 years ago, 40
Bugs
years
is
ago.
a little sauced up.
Yes.
He's a little out.
Kids these days aren't really into Looney Tunes. And
Yeah.
Bugs has this idea, or maybe not Bugs, maybe it's Tweety. Maybe you pick your Looney Tune. Maybe it's
Lola.
Yosemite. Lola. That's a good one. She has this idea that if we can win this tournament, we'll be relevant again.
Yeah.
They'll make a big movie about us, and all the kids will want to. They'll be
love
back
us
in.
again. It's the Toy Story.
It's
We wanna be
kind of
lo-
we'll
wanna
be
be
loved
loved
again.
again. Yes.
Yes. But how are we going to do this? And then somehow they figure it out. And then along the way, Don Cheadle, the algorithm, cheats and stacks the deck for Harry Potter or something, because they're like, no one cares about the Looney Tunes. LeBron somehow gets involved, obviously, and then wins it for the like. There's your movie.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the former player, like the Monstars of this iteration. I didn't like that part. I didn't like that. Like we didn't really see. We should have seen in the way that the guys lost their talent. Then we had to watch them try to play basketball. And they kind of had cameos throughout. There was no Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard like throughout the movie, really.
No,
You know what
I mean they weren't in the movie at all. They were these weird, like created species, from the South Park scientists. You know what I mean? When he used to combine animals and people. I mean that was what they were. And then Dame got the best, setup out of all of them. He got to be this cool, separate character. If I'm Anthony Davis and I watch that movie, LeBron blatantly makes fun of my eyebrow
Yeah.
and tells me to shave it. It
Yep.
looks ugly.
Yep.
And they basically just shit on him the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean,
then,
if I were Anthony Davis, I would not have left that movie and said, man, I really love Space Jam 2. You know what I mean? That was really fun for me.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh, man. I don't know.
I think at the end of the day, you know, Michael Jordan, if he was in the movie in some capacity, like at halftime,
yeah.
when they were talking about Michael Jordan, I did think he was going to walk in and say, LeBron,
Yeah.
get it done, you know?
Yeah.
Just something as simple as that,
Yeah.
you know? And I think that would have been a nice moment in time. But that obviously shows you that Michael Jordan did not want this movie to be made, you know?
I don't think he did, no.
No.
I don't think Michael Jordan.
I think he's enjoying that
yes.
we're talking like this
Yes.
and saying the first one was
Yes,
the best.
the first one was better. By the way, shout out to Robert Montgomery Knight, who got a reference. And that was
Isn't
something.
that crazy? That Bob Knight got a chair toss and a
Don
sweater
Cheadle. Imagine saying that sentence like 5 years ago. Don Cheadle posing as Bob Knight in Space Jam 2. Jim's over here like, I can't tell.
Jim, is that good?
Jim, at what point
That's
are you
good.
like, it sounds
Do you
like they're
believe
making
any of the
shit
stuff
up.
we're
Yeah.
saying? Do you think it's true?
Oh, no.
No.
Kevin Looney.
Mm-mm.
No, he was. God damn it. Jim. What else do we want to talk about? Space Jam. Is there anything else?
I
before we
mean,
move on to
that's pretty much it.
finals?
I think at this point, I give LeBron credit for making the movie. It came out. I'm happy for him. He seems to be happy. I'm happy that Bugs Bunny is back.
Yeah.
I mean, they did have this weird moment where Bugs Bunny like ascends to heaven, but then at the end of the movie, he's at LeBron's house. So, my biggest concern. Can I just tell you what my biggest concern is?
What's that?
That the future is Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes being like LeBron's. Like everything he does, he has the Looney Tunes with him.
Oh.
I am very worried about that.
Oh, this was like the start of
like
a new legacy.
A new legacy where he is like he's in any TV show. The way to get charisma is to bring Bugs Bunny. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so he has like the
no.
perfect cover. It's kind of like
Oh, no.
Michael having Bill Murray. You know, except for now he has
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny. I mean, it's gonna be
Oh, I
tough,
hate
but
that.
yeah,
I hate that idea.
I think that's gonna
By
happen.
the way, speaking of Bugs in the end, again,
Yeah.
spoiler, he traveled on the step back.
Oh, no,
On
he
the-
didn't. No, he didn't.
If you watch the
It was an
tape,
air
go back
ball.
and
It was an air
gather. It was a
ball.
gather step.
Yeah.
But that's a travel.
Yeah. I also like that was the move that LeBron was teaching his kids. It's like, this is not a fundamental basketball move.
Well,
Can we just say that?
crossover step back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I mean, that to me, it'd be one thing if it was like, he was like, let's go do the mic and drill here or whatever. I mean,
Can you imagine?
that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
The pivotal scene.
Kevin Love should have been in the movie.
That's what it is. It's like they call timeout. The Toon Squad's like, we have to do the move, but
Yeah.
it's gonna glitch and one of us is gonna die. Who's gonna do it? And then
Yeah.
Kevin Lowe shows up and he's got his hands on his hips and
He's like,
I'll do it.
I'll do it, LeBron. You always know I'll do it. LeBron's like, that's why I love Kevin Love. That's why I call him Kevin Love.
Oh man. Speaking of Kevin Love, I guess not speaking of Kevin Love. Do you want to talk about finals or Team USA?
Let's talk about Team USA first.
Okay.
I feel like that's
Speaking
more
of Kevin
inter-
Love, let's
yeah.
talk about. There you go. The
Yeah,
segue
yeah.
works then.
I got you.
Okay.
I will say this. Kevin Love did not really fit in this team, but I was excited to see where he possibly could fit. But he decides to step away from Team USA.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Beal has stepped away from Team USA. Who else is in protocol? Zach LaVine just got announced that he's in protocols right now. He had a good
Mm-hmm.
game last night. So they're in Las Vegas. They're flying to Tokyo. Zach LaVine has missed the flight to Tokyo. We are waiting on three players that are in the NBA Finals to come join them. Drew Holiday is going to be
By the way, just hearing you talk, this sounds like the plot of Space Jam.
Yeah, I know. This sounds pretty good. This sounds
Zach
pretty good.
LaVine has
I would
missed the
watch
plot.
this.
We got to get the team all together in Tokyo.
We
How
gotta
can it happen?
get to Tokyo. There will be no fans there in Tokyo, but I think the Looney Tunes and LeBron might be there. I have seen a lot of people say that LeBron should go join Team USA in Tokyo. This would be a great play for him.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a great play for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I were him, stay away from those internet rumors. Just let it be.
I don't see how
It's
that
better
helps.
if they lose and then you're not there and
Right,
people say,
right.
we needed LeBron.
Right.
That's better.
I think that's why I feel like this is 2004 all over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just that we're going to lose, but I think it's almost like an intentional situation to
Yeah.
cause a bunch of chaos
Mm-hmm.
so that 2024 we can come back and reload and like convince everybody
Yes.
to be on the team. And LeBron will do it at that point. He'll be how old will he be? 40?
40. God.
With Bronny Jr. on Team USA.
And DeJuan Wagner Jr. Those are the three.
Mari Bailey. And
Drake.
Drake's at course.
Drake's Team USA now. Everyone's like, "Are you Canadian?" It's like, not anymore. for my son.
You called it on the show, the last show we did, that JaVale McGee should get a call, and look at that, he's on the team now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we needed a rim protector.
Yeah.
JaVale's mom was an Olympian. I love JaVale McGee. He's a great guy. I said on the show he was a 2-time champion, and I have to correct myself. He's a 3-time champion.
That's right, 2 with the Warriors, 1 with the Lakers, right?
I did not count the bubble in my mind. I had not factored that in.
2.5 then. We'll call it 2.5.
Yeah. So I officially count it. 3-time champion, JaVale McGee. And Keldon Johnson's one of my favorite players. I really like Keldon Johnson. I wanted him to go to North Carolina, from Virginia. Yeah. And I like that Cal's guy is Keldon Johnson. He came out and he said, "This is my favorite guy. I love him so much." He was slighted. He was upset when people said he shouldn't be on the team. And look how he's bounced back. With
it worked out well
tonight.
for Cal, as it always does, honestly. That the sun starts sucking, and he can jump off.
He goes straight to Team USA.
Yeah, he's like swinging through a forest, and he masterfully like grabbed the next vine as he let go of one, and
You know what's funny? I saw little Chris Paul's son, was at Kentucky. So this is like 2 or 3 days ago. So he was fully on the Suns bandwagon. You know what I mean? He was so much Suns that he is now trying to recruit Chris Paul into the Kentucky ether. Because, again, he goes to Winston-Salem State. He, how the relationship with Wake Forest, we're not sure what it is with Chris Paul. And Coach Cal sees that. He's like, he's a free agent. And I got to get his son, and I got to bring him into Kentucky Blue. And that's why we love him. That's what I love to see. And now with the Suns floundering, I don't know where he stands on that, but little Chris probably had a good day.
I love the idea of that, of recruiting guys after.
Yeah, that's Coach Cal's play.
Yeah. Like Chris Paul puts out a Tipton edits, and he's like, all right,
DeJuan Wagner, his son is probably going to go to Kentucky, and then DeJuan Wagner is going to be at Kentucky games. It's going to be a very Derrick Rose situation where you're like, I thought that he played at Memphis.
No, he played at Kentucky.
But I guess he played at Kentucky.
Yeah, and then you're like, no, he played at Kentucky. And you're like, really? You just get gaslit.
You're like, yeah, it was
whole
him, Tayshaun Prince. You're like, oh, okay.
Chris Douglas Roberts.
Yeah, I guess.
You're like, wait, no, what?
Too many cows, guys. Too many guys.
Yeah, so the Team USA might be back. Beat Spain. Pau Gasol still getting after it for Spain.
41, right?
Yeah. I really am excited about the basketball Olympics because I have no idea what the hell's going to happen at this point. I think we could still. I feel better about our chances. I do think we can win gold now. Not that adding JaVale McGee now I'm buying in, but when we lost the first 2 games, it was obviously panic button time. They hit panic button. They reshuffled some things. They seem to be taking it slightly more seriously, but then at the same time, maybe the other teams that they were playing in the exhibitions were like, "Oh, we're in a good spot. We're not going to show our cards yet. Let's let them win a couple and feel like they're in a good, back to being overconfident." I don't know, Tate. The point is, I went from saying we're definitely not medaling to I think we could still gold. I think we're still definitely the most talented team.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going to happen, and that makes it fun because for as much fun as I enjoy watching us kick everyone's ass, it does get a little old to know that we're going to win by 100. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch the Olympics and not have any idea what's going to happen.
And Team Australia is the #1 team based on the power rankings I saw that they just put out. Yeah, and that to me says
they do those like the FIBA.
Yeah, FIBA power rankings, and I don't know if it's like an editorial.
No,
guy.
all those are garbage because I remember soccer. Soccer does that too.
Yeah.
And I remember leading into the 2014 World Cup, I want to say. USA was kind of high.
Well, they're also very conditional. It feels like they update it very much by the day. You know what I mean? Like something happens at practice, and they're like, okay, Australia bumps up. And the last time I saw it was after Australia had just beaten Team USA. So I think that they were just shoot them up to #1.
I remember watching the USA and the soccer poll climb, and I got so excited. And in retrospect, I feel like it was I don't know. It's like Furman making their debut in the AP poll, where it's just it's just kind of a ceremonial deal. Let's not get carried away here.
Yeah. Let's not get too excited. Let's not put up number 11 in the power rankings. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's good investigative journalism for us. Is try to figure out who's doing the FIBA.
Who has the power?
Does Ken Pom have any factor in this?
Probably.
In the FIBA power rankings?
His cousin or something.
Just I mean, for God's sakes, the way FIFA works, it's probably just 3 dudes from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Just
I was gonna say it's probably the president.
It's the president.
What's his name? Setterblatt or whatever.
Setterblatt.
Yeah, whatever. Him. Oh man.
Oh, Game 5. So the Bucks are on the precipice, as I said at the top. Bucks have now won 3 in a row. What is the overarching narrative in your mind after Game 5? Is it Giannis is awesome as we're looking up in here in the studio. They're showing Giannis' dunk right now. That was insane. Is it the greatness of Giannis and Chris Middleton being clutch and Drew Holiday playing great defense, or is it the Suns feeling themselves too much and the Suns fans like wearing out their welcome basically?
No. I think that, the first 2 games, the Suns came out, they held home court.
Yeah.
They took that as we are 2 wins away from winning the title. And I think that the Bucks, similar to the Clippers, they were very unfazed. I've heard Giannis say it. We don't get too high, we don't get too low, but we expect to win. And when you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think you have every reason to expect to win. The first 20 possessions in this game, he either screened, he either got the ball. He was involved in every single offensive possession. So first and foremost, that says to me, okay, that guy is the best player on the floor. He is manipulating the game in every way, whether he's setting a screen for Chris Middleton, that's all thanks to Giannis that he's getting open. Drew Holiday is being able to play free because Giannis is creating the space for him. And guess what? If he misses a layup, the biggest, longest guy on the floor is going to be able to get the ball. So Giannis is dominating these games. And Chris Paul, Devin Booker, you give him credit, but he's dominating in a very dominant scoring way, and he's not facilitating, so he's actually taking something away from his team. As much as he's giving these great scoring efforts, he's got to blend that game and pass the ball around a little bit. He's got to get Mikal Bridges. He's got to get Cam Johnson. Jay Crowder was great in the first quarter. Then he's nowhere. You know what I mean? So as I watch this team, it's like Devin Booker's trying to match the greatness of Giannis. And you can and he cannot manipulate the game in the same way. Yeah. Giannis can manipulate in passing lanes. He can manipulate by getting defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds. He is blocks at the end of a game, a huge dunk at the end of this game. He's the one who stopped Devin Booker on one end. He stopped him at the basket. That's why Devin Booker turned away, because Giannis came over to help. Yeah. And then he beat everyone down the floor for an alley-oop. He took 2 strides. You're playing someone that is unfair. It's unfair right now. And Chris Paul is a little guy. And little guys don't ever win anyway in basketball, unfortunately. Isaiah Thomas is the only one. Yep. He's the only one. So you got one that's been able to do it, and he's the best ever. Chris Paul is not Isaiah Thomas. So it is unbelievable to see them, get humbled. You know what I mean? They're getting humbled by greatness. Giannis is great. It's awesome. Dude, I love every second of it.
He's so likable, too. Yeah. That press conference where he was talking about not looking back and not looking forward, all that kind of stuff that everyone was.
And if you're competing against that guy, it's kind of like Jordan. If you're competing against a guy that has that much confidence and belief, it messes with you. Yeah. Charles Barkley said, "We're the team of destiny." Michael Jordan laughed at him. Yeah. Yes. He chuckled. Yes. And if you're Charles Barkley, you're like, I'm the MVP. We have the best team. We have no business losing this series. But no, greatness is over there.
I'm slightly worried about the Bucks, thinking, like the same thing happened to the Bucks, because now it feels like, now that the Bucks have won 3 in a row, it's like it's a foregone conclusion that the Bucks are winning the series. So part of me wants to be scared that they're going to get ahead of themselves in the same way that the Suns kind of did. But at the same time, I don't think that that's the DNA of the Milwaukee Bucks. No. I don't think that they are built that way. Like Giannis carries himself like he thinks that if they win Game 6, he's got another opponent to play. Yeah. Like, it's not over yet.
And they don't like Giannis. Yeah. Chris Paul doesn't like Giannis. Yeah. After the game, he's like, he knows he's going to miss the free throw. I know he's going to miss the free throw. Well, so what? He gets the rebound. You know what I mean? He gets the rebound. Yeah. He gets the rebound. He does. Yes. It doesn't matter. He is controlling everything in these games, and Chris Paul is helpless. Yeah. He was supposed to be the best player in the series, and he could have been. But guess what? He's not hurt. He has a Drew Holiday problem. And Drew Holiday's all up in his face. He's all up in his grill. And he's bigger, he's quicker, he's faster. And he's picking him up full court.
How about the stones on Drew Holiday to throw that pass, by the way?
No point guard's ever going to throw that pass unless they know that the guy they're throwing it to is Giannis. Is the greatest player on the court. Unbelievable.
I thought he was a dribble too late. Like, I saw Giannis streaking. I was like, throw it up to him. And then he dribbled one more time. And I was like, oh no, don't throw it up to him. And
no, because he was thinking, I should not. His body, any guard probably that knows time and score in that position is thinking, I pull this ball out, I get fouled, I go to the free throw line, and then I hit the free throws, and we're talking game over. But when the guy that just stopped him on the other end is running full speed like a gazelle and is pointing to the sky, you have to throw him the ball. And, man. I was so hyped up.
What did you say about Game 6 with you were telling me off air, the Deer District? Is that what they call it?
Yes,
the Deer District?
The Deer District. I think it's new.
Is that a good name?
I don't know.
There's got to be something better, right?
I mean, probably. I would say so. I mean, maybe the Beer District. I don't know. They can figure it out. I think Milwaukee has 65,000 people coming to the Deer District. That's what you're asking, right?
65,000? No.
That is the number that they have for the Deer District for Game 6.
So they have like 3 times as many people outside the arena.
Yeah. So
in the arena.
So what I'm telling you, I know Giannis. Giannis said it, and he was like, I don't ever do this. He was like, but I want our fans to be loud. When you have 20-some thousand in the building that are going insane, that's one thing. But when you have 65,000 outside the building, and it's like an echo effect of sound and reverberation and energy, I don't know how you lose. That's why when people talk about a home court advantage, I'm like, Milwaukee might be the biggest cheat code that has ever existed, because they have not only their fans, they have all the rest of their fans that are usually on Twitter or watching at home. They're outside, and they're going crazy. Yeah. It is rowdy. I saw Bill Burr tweet. He was like, Milwaukee is insane.
Which is wild, because again, like the start of the series, that was all about the Phoenix crowd.
They cannot match this. It's Milwaukee madness.
I feel bad, Tate. Did I? Do you want to talk more Giannis?
I could talk about Giannis. I think I have like 8 more years. Giannis is 26, and 26 to 34. I think this is like the 90, 91 to 98 for Jordan. And I don't think Giannis is going to go play baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that this could be a window in time where he wins like a 3-peat, maybe a 4-peat. I mean, this is epic.
Really?
I'm hyped.
You feel like that?
You're
wrong. Like, there's no way that's true. But
okay.
I like that that's where your head's at.
No, I mean, that's how I feel watching this series right now.
Yeah.
And if I'm LeBron, if I'm Kevin Durant, if I'm any of these other guys, I don't want to have to guard him, because that's basically what's going to have to happen.
I want to believe in what you're saying, but I also think that like the Nets are just going to show up next year and be like, all right, like the Nets were kind of like the Heat, the LeBron, D-Wade Heat team. Where
they got to find a rim protector. JaVale McGee would be a great ad for that team.
I'm sure.
If they got JaVale McGee, then I would probably say JaVale could guard Giannis. That'd be a good matchup.
The Nets watch Space Jam 2 and are trying to sign
Blake and JaVale. Blake and JaVale would be a good 1-2 to go at Giannis. But you got to stop him. And he's going to learn eventually how to play basketball. That's the thing. Giannis doesn't even know how to play basketball. I'm not even like, this dude this is natural gifts and heart. And you can't measure a man's heart. Can't measure it. Cannot measure it, folks. I've fallen in love. I can't believe what he's done. He dominated. He gets 30 points and he can't play basketball right now. I mean, think about that. That's crazy. He has no footwork. He has no consistent shot.
I'm just gonna let you go. I just like sitting here watching you just like.
I'm fired up. I could talk about number 34 for days. But shout out to Devin Booker, because he's the one on the other side that I think could maybe blend his game and make it work. It's not over, but Giannis has impressed me. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
That's
I'm just
it.
making sure.
Done.
I know how much you love Giannis, and I felt like I cut you off to.
I don't even know how it all happened. I just fell in love watching him play. It speaks.
I think the Bucks playing the Nets helped with like good versus evil narrative of obviously the Nets, or if there is an evil team in the NBA, it would be the Nets. They are the worst. Like everything about that franchise is garbage, and everything about them. And the Bucks like represent what's good about what we are hopeful about the NBA, that you can keep a star there in a small market that you draft, and it's homegrown situation, even though he's not from Milwaukee, but it feels like he is.
I think we turned the page. I think we're in a new chapter of the NBA.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like I think like the Bucks beating the Nets, and then now maybe beating the
Chris Paul, which is basically a LeBron representative.
Yes, I think like Giannis represents this era of the NBA that I thought was long gone and dead, and the idea that small markets can win, and if you just draft the right guy and are nice to him, he'll stay there forever, and you can win a championship. And that is definitely not the case anymore, I thought, but now Giannis is making me rethink it, and I think that's why he's so likable. Beyond like why he's already likable, but I think like that's what's playing into why we're
absolutely. And he doesn't care about fame. The reason I believe in him, and the reason I'm so hype, is that I don't think that he can be like that quote he said. I mean, I don't think he can be swayed by the fame of it all. I don't think he really cares.
Yeah.
I think he's in the gym, and I think he wants to win, and I think he has no friends. I don't think he's friends with these guys. I really don't. I don't think he's friends with these guys. I don't think Kevin
Like the
Durant
guys
is
on the other teams.
Yeah. I mean, obviously his family, his friends, but I don't think he's friends with Chris Paul. I don't think he cares to talk to Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And I think they don't like that.
Yes.
And I think that's what's so great about him, because I'm not here to be friends. I'm here to beat you.
Yeah.
I don't want to go get drinks with you. I want to beat you, and I want you to lose, and I want you to savor that loss because I'm better than you. I like that.
I've never seen you get like so fired up and serious about something.
I like it
right now.
It's good. We needed it. Basketball needed that. They really did. And if you can get me a finals in the future where it's Luka versus Giannis, that's what I'm talking about.
Great, yeah.
That's what I'm watching. That's good basketball.
All right, moving on to what is going to get me fired up. Marcus Carr is out of the Big Ten. He's going to Texas, and a lot. I've seen a lot of people like Texas. Is Texas the best team in the country going into the season?
Yeah.
They're loaded with talent. They're very good. Chris Beard, snapping
They're not
of a
better
finger.
than Kansas, though.
I don't think they're better than Kansas. I would put Texas. I don't know. How early is it? Is it too early?
It's too
is it
early.
way too early?
I think it's just too early. Take the way off.
In my too early top two in the Big 12 power rankings, I got Kansas at 1, Texas at 2.
Oh,
That's
see,
how
I got Kansas at 1 and Baylor at 2.
Whoa.
Yeah, Texas at 3.
Texas at 3,
At
your
3.
top 2,
yes.
way too early.
Yes, but
Your top 2 plus 1, way too early.
Yes. Put
Big
that
12
out. Make a graphic.
Power rankings. Okay.
Okay.
But point stands, Texas has an excitement around the basketball program that they haven't had since they basically hired Shaka and believe that like this is the guy. And thank God we fired Rick Barnes.
Yeah.
Thank God we fired the best coach we've ever had, so we could hire Shaka Smart. It feels like there's a rejuvenation around Texas. And I guess what I want to talk about briefly is how excited I am for this college basketball season, Tate, because number one, fans are going to be back in the arenas, knock on wood, hopefully, the way it's going. Pauley Pavilion, the way the LA
Maybe we should all just go to the
is-
Deer District and just be outside and watch our teams.
The way LA is trending, maybe not, but the fans are going to be back in the arenas, 1. 2, it feels like so with that, there's going to be more of a normal season. Hopefully, we don't have guys testing positive and games getting canceled and like what happened with Baylor. It happened with 1,000 teams, but Baylor's the most notable where they go on pause, they come back.
Michigan too, yeah.
Michigan, they almost lose to Iowa State at home. It messes with my brain because I'm watching Iowa State, a 2-win team at Baylor, giving Baylor the business. And then I'm like, yeah, of course Gonzaga is much better than Baylor. Fast forward to April, not the case. So hopefully all that's gone. So we're excited for those reasons. But above all that, it feels like the teams that are near the top of these way too early lists, the fan bases believe it's their year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, this is our year. I'm so excited. Kansas fans are excited. Gonzaga fans are excited.
Yeah.
UCLA is bringing their whole team back. They're excited. Purdue is bringing their whole team back. They lost to a 14 seed in the first round, but they don't care about that because they got Travion Williams and Jaden Ivey and Zach Edey. All those guys are back. IU is excited, for God's sakes. Mike Woodson, new coach. Like, they got a bunch of transfers. And
was with Carmelo at the Peach Jam this week. Yeah.
Duke and Kentucky are going to be better. Carolina, you think Carolina is
we're stacked.
Top 6, top 7?
I think we're top 5.
7.5?
We're top 5.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. In my top 5. My too early top 5.
Michigan fans, obviously very excited. They believe that Michigan, it doesn't matter what. Michigan fans don't even have to look at their roster or what time of year it is.
Did you say
they just
Illinois,
think
by the
they're-
way? I think Illinois.
Illinois fans are excited.
Kofi Coburn.
Yeah, Kofi's back. We haven't talked about that. That officially happened. We talked about it last week. That was going to happen.
I
but,
thought that was genius, by the way, to put out you may go somewhere else and then get all the fans that already love you to admit that they love you.
Yeah.
And then you come back and they love you again.
to kind of put it on the fans as like,
yeah. How bad do you want?
show me how much you love me.
It was good.
And you have to. It's like the graphics at like a baseball or football or basketball game where they put the clap-o-meter or whatever, where you have to like clap
louder,
and then louder.
louder.
And you see the gauge go up.
Yes.
And Kofi's got his clap-o-meter and he's like, please clap, please louder.
Yeah, Kentucky fans walked away too early.
But I just wanted to briefly mention that there's a lot of positive buzz coming out of a lot of these programs. Even Ohio State, Tate, a team that had their season tragically ended last year by COVID.
Yeah.
Could not participate in the NCAA tournament in 2021 and lost Dwayne Washington to the NBA draft. As a Buckeye, I'm still excited for this team to come back. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that Marcus Carr going to Texas, it just clicked in my head because I saw Texas fans are like, we're winning the Big 12, and Kansas fans were like, not so fast, and Baylor's like, we're the defending national champions, so how about you kiss our asses? And then Texas Tech was like, Kevin O'Banner. Ever heard of him? We got him. Big 12 is going to be a bloodbath. Big 10 is going to be a bloodbath.
Chris Beard was lobbying for both Texas Tech
Yes.
and Texas. He's like, they should be number one. We should be number one.
I'm so excited because the players are going to get paid, so no one's going to be coming at our necks saying like, I can't believe you're watching this garbage. And it's great.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be a college basketball fan.
Yeah, we finally did it. We finally have NIL. I saw Johnny Juzang. I mean, we're waiting for more NIL news, to be honest with you. I think that's with the first day we got Jordan Bohannon. We got some real fireworks out there. And from there, it's been, Sam Howell, my quarterback, decided he was going to do an NIL deal with, a charity in Chapel Hill. That was beautiful.
I don't think that's...
No.
So what? What?
I don't know. He's adding.
How does that work?
He's getting paid.
So he's making the charity pay him?
But then I don't know if he's even getting paid. I think he's just putting his face to the charity to then get donations for the charity, so they can use his name,
I think
image,
you could have
likeness.
done that before.
No,
Sam.
no, because he didn't own his name, image, likeness.
I mean, I
I don't know.
don't want to poo-poo. Like he's doing it for a good cause. Like, dude, I just don't.
I don't know. He's the Heisman. Just give him the Heisman. That's the whole point of this.
Anyway, ipso facto Heisman.
Yeah, give him the trophy. But from there, I need more. I need more. Johnny Juzang, I think, is going to make it happen for us.
The name, image, likeness. What has it been? What is today? What is? I don't have my watch on. When was the date? The 19th, as we're recording this. So it's almost been almost 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It does feel like we kind of like everyone blew their wad in the first week when we were hearing all these stories, and I don't know what's going on. I will say I do think the cautionary tales are coming. I think that it's not going to necessarily happen anytime soon, but I think fast forward like a year from now, and you're going to hear a story about some guy that got just absolutely like, because if you think, I don't know, man. Like I know of a couple different situations going on right now that I am slightly privy to that just scream scams of college basketball players and college football players that are being taken advantage of by the name, image. We kind of talked about it. Like this is a pitfall that's going to happen. Is guys are going to see, if I sign this contract, I will get a one-time payment of like $15,000. They won't read the fine print. They won't.
Yeah.
They will sign their life away, and before you know it, you're going to look up one day and you're going to be in the serververse playing Don Cheadle.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to be on Moron Mountain, and you're like, I did not agree to this. Yeah.
All for a fireworks deal?
Zach
What was I
Edey
thinking?
is on Moron Mountain at Warner Brothers lot. He's like, I did not want to do this. What did I agree to?
So whatever, we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. But yeah, I
just want
the
more
splashes.
deals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need more deals, man.
That's all I want. Just give me more
Deals.
Like O'Banner when he goes to Texas Tech. Like, give me something. Like, car dealership. O'Banner's
I want
there.
to see more regional deals of like of the school, like your if you're, I don't know, if you're playing at Maryland and you do a deal for seafood and
Jimmy
crab
Seafood.
Cakes. Yeah, Jimmy Seafood. There you go. I want to see
Well,
like
Jimmy's is a Carolina fan, but we'll throw him out
you know
there.
what I'm saying? Like I want to see like a whiskey deal, a bourbon deal. with
Maker's
Kentucky.
Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Louisville.
Yeah.
You do it with Louisville. I want to see that. I want to see those tie-ins. You know, like Johnny Juzang does like a surf shop
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm in LA, baby. With
Yeah.
surfs up, something like that. I don't know. We need to see more of those. I guess Jordan Bohannon doing the fireworks kind of checks that box because that's a Midwest like.
I mean, him signing
Blow shit
autographs at the actual store is so funny to me. I wish someone would have filmed that.
Yeah.
That would have been really good.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. You got any shout outs?
I just want to shout out Jim Cunningham for joining us on this program. Yes, you, Jim. That Jim Cunningham over there. Not this Jim Cunningham, that Jim Cunningham. It's been a long road, but now we're finally on a program again. And you took over for me on Sal's show. We love Cousin Sal. We have to get Cousin Sal back. He probably won't come on our show anymore, but eventually we'll all get reunited on the air.
He comes on the Fox Light. He shoots
Yeah,
his,
he's right here. I just saw him on the TV up there. Yeah.
Jim, this is like your first day at school, huh? That's what you kind of look like. Every time I look over, he's like,
Yeah.
he's kind of,
He's like, I'm taking notes.
yeah.
Yeah, sure you
I
are.
promise.
Yeah, take that out. I did not say that.
Oh man. I want to shout out, speaking of Fox people, our colleague and friend of the program, Doug Gottlieb,
Oh,
who, as we know,
this was good.
As we know, Gottlieb is he's a coach in waiting.
Yes.
He is teaching me how to be a coach in waiting, where you get people to call you coach. You tell them you're a coach. You're not really sure what program you're going to yet. I really thought he was gonna make a run at the Oklahoma State job last time it opened when Boynton got it. He did not. But he kind of did. But then like
He did on
it was
Twitter,
like,
but not in real life. Yeah.
yeah. It was like it's kind of hard to suss out what's going on. But then every so often you look up and he's coaching a team, Like I don't know. His AAU team, his kids team. Like he's always coaching. This guy, but he's not a coach. But is he a coach? Long story short, Tate. He
dresses like a coach.
He dresses like a coach. He carries like a coach. He tweets like a coach.
Yes.
He'll tweet out videotape, and he's just like, "Watch this. This is called a ball screen. Watch what happens next." Boom. And
we call this screen roll.
Yeah. And we love him for it, but he is a coach now because he was coaching the Oklahoma State TBT team, the alumni team, the Stillwater Stars, I believe is what they were called. And Doug Gottlieb, as head coach of the Stillwater Stars, and a great opportunity to showcase what he is capable of as a head coach, he goes out, Tate, wins game 1, 23-point comeback for the Stillwater Stars in the basketball tournament. If you don't know what the TBT is, it's a single elimination, winner take all summer deal that's been going on for a few years. I think most people that listen know because we've had like the Ohio State team won it a couple years ago, whatever. So they come back in the first round. On Sunday in the second round, they put forth a valiant effort. His guys came out, played hard for him. It was very inspiring stuff to watch. As the Stillwater Stars lost in the second round by 52 points. So, Doug, and he's got a torn ACL, by the way.
So he's on the sideline.
Yeah, Gottlieb's got a.
He's like on the scooter.
I didn't actually watch. I just know of this. But no, I saw it because he was tweeting through it. He was taking pictures of his legs and was like, "Somebody tell me what I have going on here." And then people were replying, "It looks like a couple hot dogs." I don't know what they were replying, but he was taking pictures of his legs. He's like, "I got an injury. Help me."
That's why I can't coach.
And then he followed it up and he's like, "I tore my ACL. I went to the doctor and he tore his ACL." Yeah. Doug's got a torn ACL.
From coaching so hard.
I guess.
That's what I'm going to take away from this. Doug was coaching so hard, so well, so good that he tore his ACL.
What a character.
Man, he's the best.
By the way, shout out Fletcher McGee and TBT. I saw he's on, I forget what his team was called. They lost, but they were down by a lot.
Fletcher Magoo, you're saying?
Fletcher Magoo, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
They were down by a lot to the West Virginia alumni team. And I watched this one. The TBT, they do the elim ending, and it was set at, I think it was honestly set at 69 points.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And they were down like 12 or something, and they come storming back. They get it within, they have a shot at the end to win it, or they have the possession. I don't remember what happened. And in the end, they ended up losing, but they came storming back. And the reason I was so blown away was that the West Virginia team was the 2 seed. Fletcher McGee's team was the 15 seed. And I was thinking to myself, I don't even know when the last time I've ever seen the 15 beat a 2 like that. You know? Like, it had been so long. So, like, I was watching it. I was captivated. I was like, this is something that you never see in basketball. Not since, like, Michigan State lost, I think, when they lost to Middle Tennessee in a 15-2 game. Never happened. So it almost happened the other day, and I just wanted to shout out Fletcher for almost pulling off the impossible. So.
Well, that's what he does. That's who he is. And we saw him. We saw him at the 3-on-3 too. I mean, we've seen Fletcher McGee. I saw him when he was at Wofford, then obviously beat North Carolina, and then, man, what a ride for Fletcher McGee. We're so happy to see it. One more shout out from me, Stuart Scott. Anniversary of his passing. Cooler than the other side of the pillow. The best.
Booyah!
The best. I mean, the soundtrack of my childhood. The best part about the Space Jam stuff is that I could just pull out all the 90s, childhood experiences, and Stuart Scott was a part of that,
Here's the thing
ESPN2, the Sports Center.
Here's the thing about the old school Sports Center, and I'm in agreement with everyone else of our generation that I wish we could go back to, like, that era of sports highlights, and you turn it on, and it's Kenny Mayne. I loved him. I loved all the guys. Stuart Scott, the whole deal. But at the same time, you and I both know, Tate, that if some guy straight out of Syracuse that gets hired at ESPN, and he's like 26 years old, and he's now an anchor, and he comes in and he's calling the highlights, and he's like, "Booyah! In your fit, cooler than," and he starts throwing out catchphrases. You'd be like, "This guy sucks.
Yeah,
get him out of here."
Because I'd be like, "He's not Stuart Scott, and he's not from North Carolina." That's
even if he's not Jack and Stuart Scott, like I'm saying,
it's
just
done.
like the idea of like the
it's kind of like remaking Space Jam.
Yes,
like it was already happened,
done.
and it was already done well. Leave it there.
So I kind of wish we'd go back, but at the same time, like if
we can't go back.
You can't go back. We can't go back.
Yeah,
we can't. We go forward.
we
Giannis taught us that. We go back. That's your ego.
Yeah.
That's your ego wanting to go back.
Just live in the present.
Oh man, shout out Brad Davison got engaged.
I saw that.
What's funny?
I
What's
don't know.
funny? You don't believe in love?
Oh God.
You don't believe in love?
That guy broke my heart.
He got engaged to.
That's who Roy lost to in his last game. That's the only thing that I can't really sit with. You know what I mean? I want Roy Williams to come back for just one game. I know he's helping Hubert out. I just hope he comes back for like one game.
Every time you see Brad Davison's face,
I want to punch
You
it.
just see Roy. You just see the back of Roy's head as he's walking out of the Dean Dome with all of his stuff in a box, and he's like, "That's it."
But I don't blame Roy. If that guy beat me the way he did, I'd be like, I gotta hang it up. It's like there's no way. Man.
Brad Davison got engaged to Tyra Buss. She's a former. The reason I'm bringing it up is because she played basketball at Indiana, and the reason that's noteworthy, Tate, is because as we remember another friend of the program of the Brad Davison ilk by the name of Kyle Guy, who was engaged to be married his final year of playing college basketball to a woman who was going to law school, I believe, or dentistry school, or whatever, some advanced degree. I don't know. It's all the same
I can't
to me.
remember. Yeah.
Nerd school at Notre Dame. And Virginia and Notre Dame are in the same conference, and we were worried. Now, is he gonna, like, when they play each other? Is he gonna?
Is she in his ear?
She in his ear? Is there like
Throw the
some
game
shenanigans
card.
going on? Keep an eye on that this year, folks.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Indiana. Where do the loyalties lie?
Wow.
What's gonna happen?
Wow.
Tyra Buss, she's an iconic Hoosier. She had a great career at Indiana, Tate. If she really is Hoosier through and through, she will tell Brad to throw the game.
Yeah,
she will.
I am hoping that Brad Davison pulls a Dom James, and in the middle of the game at halftime, he decides to play for the Hoosiers, and he just comes out in a different uniform. And honestly, I think Indiana fans would just start cheering. They wouldn't even know what to do. They're like, I guess we were excited.
It makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Yeah,
like, Brad,
checks out.
like Jordan Hulse is back. We love it.
Yeah, welcome back.
Jordan.
Oh, that's good.
I wanted to also. I had a couple other shout outs here. Oh, I forgot to bring this up with Space Jam. Are you aware that LeBron's hairstylist credited in the movie? I swear to God, you can go look this up. Go pull up HBO Max.
Oh gosh.
If you don't believe me, because I was gobsmacked. LeBron's hairstylist in the movie is named Nick Castellanos.
I can't even with this.
I swear to God, I was going through the. I felt like it was some sort of, because all that was just playing in my head is Steve trying to left field by Castellanos. The guy's name is Nick Castellanos, who cuts LeBron's hair.
Do you think?
Maybe I'm the only one that finds this hilarious.
I mean, I just find it. Oh man, at least he got credit. At least he got credit.
I don't think it's the same guy.
I don't think it's the same guy, but at least he got credit.
But
that's all we can
there's
say.
that. I wanted to shout out the other Nick Castellanos. And then finally, I had a shout out for Jason McIntyre, who's speaking of Fox colleagues. I got a text message today, Tate. Are you excited about this? You don't know about this.
Read this.
I'm gonna read this to you. I'm gonna read this text message to you. I'm gonna surprise you with this. Let me find it. Hey fellas, it's finally done. Top 50 players in college basketball has been submitted. Can you send me your email and I'll share it with you?
Oh my God.
It's happening. J-Mac is back.
Top
50. We got to get him on the show.
Yeah, I got to figure out who is on that list.
So
I really do.
He's going to publish it. We're going to have him on the show. I don't know when that's happening, but
where's Brad Davison on that list?
He's got to be.
He's in the top 50. He's in the top 50. That's for sure. I think he's number 13. And I think he goes. I know this is a little high for this guy, but he's all heart.
Paolo Banchero's 1. I think Brad Davison's going to be 4. Who else is going to be on there? I think Alex O'Connell is going to
somehow. He somehow gets in there.
Oh man! All right, I think that's it. Also, shout out to Mike Krzyzewski retiring.
Yes.
All the talk about
Jim's favorite head coach.
Yeah,
Coach K.
Jim, Coach K.
Yeah.
Do you have a Coach K memory you want to share as he's going on the fair?
Anytime I see him.
Who is your favorite college basketball team, by the way? St. John's? That's what you grew up watching, right? You're in New York, yeah. St. John's. Well,
yeah.
Nothing to talk about.
Yeah. Well, Frank McGuire, your best coach. He went to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Won all his championships.
Yeah.
Beat Wilt Chamberlain. Not at St. John's though.
There it is. All right, that's the show. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back. Maybe talk a little NBA draft. We haven't talked draft at all. It's coming up quick.
We have to. We got to get somebody on. Yeah, I think it is.
We got to call Vicini or KOC or.
We got to get some sort of draft expert. I want to know what the experts are saying.
Jim, go call Rosillo. Get him on the.
Call Kyle first.
The last time we call Kyle. Have him call Rosillo. Have Rosillo. I want Rosillo, Hollywood screenwriter Ryan Rosillo, to tell me how to punch up Space Jam 2 script, how he would fix.
I think he's gonna listen to what you said and then call Warner Bros. And say, "I got an idea for the next one."
And then I'm gonna be like, Rosillo, that was my idea. He's like, "That's Hollywood, baby.
Welcome to the business. Welcome to the business. Welcome to showbiz, baby."
All right, see you guys.